Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Today's episode is a tribute to American abstract artist Sam Francis. He is known as one of the 20th century's most profound abstract expressionists, and he was a prolific painter and a printmaker. And I will put a link to his bio in the description box below. The piece that is the inspiration for today is called, it's actually untitled. It's untitled from 1981. And I was attracted to the playful gestures and circular forms and carefree lines. As you can see, it's made of primary colors like yellow and blue and red. So I will get started by doing the first layer of lines with my Sharpie pen. So as usual, I will begin with making some marks. Okay, that's the first layer of black, very fine lines. Now I'm going to do a combination of techniques. The inspiration piece has a whole bunch of blue dots, like these blue spots, kind of like drips. Instead of doing drips, I'm going to do pastel transfer because I think there's more of a control where I want the little circular areas or spots to be. And at the same time, I can demonstrate to you how to do the pastel transfer. So here is my drawing paper, and it is conveniently sized to fit the gel plate, which is 16 by 20 inches. So here's my box of soft pastels. And so according to the inspiration piece, there are these random sort of very playful random spots. And shades of blue. So this will be a combination of different techniques. Okay. I think there's a little bit of green. I'm gonna try to to introduce some green. Okay. Actually, there's also some purple. A little purple here and there. Okay. So I'm going to take this. Again, since this is soft pastel, this is very unavoidable to have the dust. So I'm just going to shake this dust off. And very carefully lay this down on the paper. Okay. It's not perfectly straight, but that's okay because these are random spots or dots. So you could say this is like a chalk transfer because soft pastel is a mixture of powdered pigment and some chalk. So it's a dry medium. And the downside of soft pastel is it can get a little messy because the dust starts flying all over the place if you don't control it. Okay, let's see. This was a good transfer. I would say so. It captures the gestures. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. So now I will apply some unbleached titanium to pick up this image. Now I'm not sure how much is left in this tube. Okay, I hope this is enough. Now with this technique, it's unavoidable for the powder of the pastel to latch onto your brayer. That's normal because you're applying two surfaces that come in contact with each other. So it takes a little bit of practice, and like every technique has its limitations. It's not a perfect medium, but I'm just making do. Okay. Again, I am using my Blick watercolor paper. It's a heavy watercolor paper, which I like because it has a texture. That's the first reason. The second reason, it's quite reasonable. I think it comes out to like $3.50 per sheet, which is very reasonable for a high quality paper. And I will put the link in the description box below as well if you wish to buy this kind of paper. So since I'm trying to pick up both the Sharpie lines and the pastel dots, I'm going to leave this on for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we have here. I think it's a very successful transfer. I was able to pick up the details of the Sharpie pen as well as the pastel dots. Okay, I think that's pretty cool for a first layer. Okay, so I will air dry this. I'll wait for the paper to straighten out and then figure the next step. So don't go away. Okay, I'm back, and I was able to put down some of my circular reusable stencils. At this point, I'm going to deviate a little bit from the inspiration piece. In the Sam Francis piece, the circles and the circular shapes are positive shapes. Now I'm going to use a stencil so they turn out to be negative shapes. So the background will be deep yellow and some of the chrome orange. So that will be a slight deviation from the original, because as I mentioned many times, when I interpret some other artist's work, I always try to put my own stamp on it, my individual interpretation of the piece rather than copy it. So I may have somewhat similar color scheme, but I'm making this my own interpretation. Okay. I'm going to start with the red. Now, since this is acrylic red, this is quite transparent. So what I'm hoping is the transparency will show what's underneath. I'm going to apply some of my marks. Just to give some movement. Okay. I'm giving my razor blade a rest, so I'm using a stick to lift these stencils instead. Okay. I think I got them all. So here is the piece with the blue and green dots. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, very circus-like. Okay, so I will air dry this and then see if I can capture this ghost print. I think that's it for the Arctic. That was the last gasp. Let me see if I can add some fluorescent blue. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, I can tell I'm gonna like this. Usually the ghost print comes out very nice compared to the first pull. It's a lot more subtle and complex. Very cool. I love this. It's a world of difference from the first pull. But like I always say, to get to point B, you have to start with point A. So I'm going to air dry this and then decide what the next step is. Okay, I decided to apply some collage on this first piece. I wanted to introduce my own signature elements, and so I have my pieces of copy paper and tissue paper. This is black tissue paper. And my mixture of glue it's about 1/3 water, 2/3 glue. Now I've had a viewer ask me, why do I do that? By adding a little water, it's easier to spread the glue as opposed to using it straight out of the jar. Now, straight out of the jar, it sometimes is too thick, especially when I'm doing tissue. Because for tissue paper, it's best to have a slightly watery consistency. So I find that having a little diluted glue is more effective. It does not affect its performance as a glue. It's still very sticky. Okay, so this is the last part. I'm just going to go like so. So I think this gives the piece a little bit of depth. Just usually I do that by introducing another layer of stencils, but I think this is busy enough that I think the collage does the job. Okay. So it's a very circus-like, very cheery kind of image. Lots of activity and movement. So I will air dry this piece and then I will recap with the ghost print. Okay, everybody, this is my favorite part of this video, where I get to show you the finished product. Here is the first print with the collage elements, and here is a close-up. So the pastel elements are very clear. They almost look like I drew them directly on the paper. You would never imagine it was a transfer. And I like the way that the collage elements just blend in. So that's the first piece. And here's the ghost print. Now the ghost print is a world away from the first one. It's very atmospheric, and it's almost like a landscape. And I love the way that the dark blue blends in with the Arctic. And it captures these rust-colored traces from the first print. So what I will do is place the inspiration piece and the first print side by side so you can compare. I'll just scoot this to one side. And I have the San Francis inspiration piece on the left. So as you can see, I've reimagined the piece called Untitled to a 2023 version. I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and for those who can, lend your support to my PayPal in order to keep this channel going. I appreciate all your support. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you next time.